On this podcast, we're going to have a hotline for you to call into, for you to voice your pleasure with your team. What I'm looking forward to is for you to be able to voice your displeasure with your team. But we do have a hotline to call into. We'll be doing it weekly. The number is 213-537-9339. So call in, leave us some voicemails. And for this first show, we have some lined up and ready to go. I have not yet heard them. So Rick, hit me with them, baby.
Ben, love the show. Another question for you. Who do you think will be the next active MLB player to hit the warehouse at Camden Yards?
The next active player to hit the warehouse. So it's been done by King Griffey Jr. He did it in a home run derby, so that adds another dimension. So I think, when I think about this, I want to think about teams that are in the AL, that are going to play in Baltimore more. A name that immediately comes to mind is Cody Bellinger, but how often is he playing in Baltimore? Yordan Alvarez comes to mind. His rookie year, the year he won Rookie of the Year, actually. He hit a ball at Minute Maid Park that went further than any ball that has ever been hit there. They turned the seat red, almost like a Ted Williams type thing. It was crushed, and I have no doubt that ball would have hit the warehouse. No doubt. So I think if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Yordan Alvarez. Let's go with number two. Question number two.
Hey, Ben. I had a question for you. I was wondering if you think that Tatis Jr. is as good as he's hyped up to be. I'm a little nervous with this big contract that they gave him. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks.
Yeah, so that is quite the contract they gave him. But to answer the question, I do think so. I love Tatis Jr. I love what he means to the game. And even if he doesn't have, this sort of start to this contract that everyone's anticipating, I think what's even more important about this deal is what it means to the game of baseball. I think it is huge for the game, for growing the game. So already right there, I think this contract is super important. And in terms of him, I think the guy's a stud, to be honest with you. I think he's electric. I think he embodies what this show means, for one. I think the show is based off of guys like him. So, and I think he is just going to continue. He's so young. He is so young, and he's just going to continue to flourish and get better and better. The guy's got power. The guy plays great defense. The guy steals bases. So I think, and I'm hopeful, I'm very hopeful that this contract ends up being a blessing for the Padres and working out well for everybody. What we got next?
Hi, Ben. My name is Argenis, and I am a Houston Astros fan from Mexico. My question is, what consequences could there be for the players' performances from playing 60 to 162 games a season? Thanks for listening to my question. Take care.
Yeah, I love it, baby. We're already international. Let's go. So the question was, the differences between playing a 60-game season and now 162. I think for so long, coming up through a system, it's always been 100. It's always been a lot of games. We're used to playing a lot of games. We're used to playing over 100 games. I think playing 60 was actually an anomaly and kind of made guys change things up in that perspective. I think it was different for pitchers. I think for hitters last year was different. I think this year, yes, it's a lot more games. And I think the big thing is you're going to have to take care of your body a little more. But this is what guys are used to. So I think for the first time this year in a couple of years now, because of the way the season was last year, that we're going to have some sort of normalcy back. And guys are going to get back in routines. And this is what they're used to. So I'm personally excited for 162 games instead of 60. It just feels like we're starting to get back into the flow of things. And yeah, I just think the biggest difference for guys is going to be taking care of your body, because you play, 100 more games this year. But that's the biggest thing.
Hey, what's up? I was just wondering what you think about the St. Louis Cardinals. What do you think their record's going to be this year? Thanks.
What do I think their record for the St. Louis Cardinals is going to be this year? So let me think about this. So the Cardinals added Arenado, which Arenado's a superstar. You can say what you want about his, how he hits at Coors Field, how he hits away from Coors Field. What it comes down to is a lot of hitters hit better at home than on the road. I think we're blowing a little too much into the, he can only hit at Coors Field. Nolan Arenado is an incredible superstar in this game. And adding him over at third base for the Cardinals is going to be a very welcomed addition, to say the least. And pairing him with Paul Goldschmidt over at first, who I'm pumped about for the Cardinals this year is Dylan Carlson. This guy's gonna come on the radar in a big way this year. I think he has Rookie of the Year potential. I think he's gonna establish himself as a great player in this game. I think he's gonna come out of the gates hot. I went into this offseason thinking the NL Central is just not gonna be very good. But the Cardinals have separated themselves from everybody else. They really have. So when I start thinking of a record, I don't think they're an 100-win team, but they are in a weaker division. They're going to beat up on the Pirates. They're going to beat up on the Reds. I think the Brewers could be sneaky good. I think the Cubs are going to, be sneaky good. It kind of depends on what way the front office wants to take them. But I have them winning, around 90 to 92 games. So let's see. 162, so 90 and 72. I'm going to say 92 and 70 is my prediction, with great math, quick math, by the way, my prediction for the St. Louis Cardinals. So that is the end of the voicemail questions that we have for today's first episode. But we are going to be doing this weekly, and I love this. I love these questions. So keep them coming. Again, the number is 213-537-9339. And we're going to be doing this weekly on the show. So call in, tell me what's making you excited about your team, your pleasure for your team. Tell me what's pissing you off about your team. Voice some displeasure. I'm here for all of it, and I'm excited to answer your questions. So make sure weekly you're calling in, and I will answer your questions on the show. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, and just talking ball, hit that subscribe button.